Most beginners can run a C program. I could too, but if someone asked me to explain exactly what happened between writing a file and executing it, I'd probably hesitate. This can feel like a black box. So, in this video, let's open it together. We will write our first C program, compile it, run it, and actually understand how text becomes instructions for the CPU. So, let's get to it. Before we write any code, we need to understand one simple thing: what a program actually is. When we write a C program and save it, we create a file. That file is stored as bytes, and those bytes represent the text characters you typed, so the letters, symbols, and white spaces that make up your code. At this point, the program is just text. But here's the problem. The CPU, which is the component responsible for doing computations, does not execute text. It does not understand words, variable names, or meaning. It can only execute very specific machine instructions. So, if we give the CPU a text file, it has no idea what to do with it. That's why compilation exists. When we compile a C program, we translate the source code into machine instructions that the CPU knows how to execute. The result is usually a different file, still stored as bytes, but now those bytes represent executable instructions instead of text. So, the key idea is this. Before compilation, the file exists for humans to read. After compilation, the result exists for the computer to run. So, now that we know what a program is, let's start by creating a C file. In C, source files always end with .c. That file extension tells the compiler that this file contains C code. So, I'm going to create a file called hello.c. So touch hello.c. And here we have it. At this point we have an empty file called hello.c, so it's time to start writing our program. But before we write anything, we need to answer one simple question. What do we want this program to do? That goal matters because in C, what you write depends directly on what your program needs to do, because C doesn't give you everything automatically. Depending on the goal of the program, you may need to explicitly ask for certain capabilities, and in C, that usually means including the right header files. Now you may ask, what's a header file? Well, a header file is where the compiler learns what functions exist and how they are supposed to be used. For this video, the goal is very simple. We want to print a line of text to the terminal, so what header should we include for that? Well, the process is actually simple. If you go to Google and search for something like C headers and click on this one here, for instance, scroll down, you will see a lot of headers. Now, in our case, we want to use printf, since this is how we print things into the terminal. And if you look at this documentation, you will see that printf, so this one here, belongs to this header here. So we need to include this header on our C file. Now we can just copy these words and paste it on our C file. So to use this header, we can go up and know how to include this header on our C file. So to include the header, we need to use #include. So let's do it. #include. Then we can go back, copy the header, so all this, and paste it here. So what this line does is tell the compiler that our program will use standard input and output functionality, including what we want to do, which is print text into our terminal. Now we can write the program itself. But there's something you need to know. Every C program that runs must have a main function. That's because C programs can have a lot of functions, files, and because of that, the operating system, which is responsible to start the program, needs to know where to start. So, in C, the starting point is a function called main. So, the next line is where we begin main. Let's do it. So, we write int main, then we insert curly braces, so like this. Now, if you are like me, you want to know why do we use int and curly braces. Let's start with int. In C, every function must declare what it returns when it finishes running, and that includes main. The operating system doesn't just start your program. When the program ends, the operating system expects something back. Specifically, it expects a number that tells it whether the program finished successfully or not, and that's why we insert int before main. Now we use the curly braces to group the code inside of main together into a block. So, the curly braces just mean that everything inside them belongs to that function, so in this case to the main function. But be aware that you need to use the curly braces in every function, not just in main. And we are ready to create the code inside, and as I told you before, the goal is very simple, which is print a line of text into our terminal. And to do that, we need to use something called printf, which will print our string into our terminal. So it will be like this. Let's insert our printf here. Now remember that we need to insert our code always inside of these curly braces. Printf. And now we need to use quotes because we want to print text. And when we want to print text, we use quotes. So, quotes, and let's say that we want to print hello, all. Now guys, remember that I told you that we need to tell C everything that we want our program to do? Well, that includes tell C when the instruction that we wrote on our function ends. So, to do that, we use a semicolon. So, we are telling C that this instruction, the printf instruction, ends here. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't give another instruction after this, because you can. It just tells that this specific instruction ends here. Let's save this. Don't forget to save everything you write. And we are ready to compile our file. To do that, let's go to terminal, click on new terminal. Now the command will be gcc hello.c-o hello. Now let me explain very quickly. GCC is our compiler tool, hello.c is the name of the file that we want to compile, so the file that has our code, -o stands for output, and hello is the file that will save the instructions that the CPU will run. Now we click enter, and if we list the contents of this directory, we have the hello.c and the hello. Now let's execute the hello file, so /hello. And here we have the output of our file, hello all. Now, as you can see, the program printed everything in the same line, which is awful. So we need to tell the program to print our string in a new line, and for that we use \n. So like this, \n. Don't forget to save it. Now, this is very important. Every time you modify your C file, you need to compile it again. And this is because you inserted a new instruction onto that file. So we can delete our hello file, so remove hello, and let's compile the file again. So gcc hello.c, and let's output it again to a file called hello, and we click enter. Now let's run the file again, so /hello, and as you can see, we have the string printed in a new line. And this is it guys for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and that I could make myself clear. I know that some things may seem unnecessary, but they are actually what makes everything make sense. If you have any questions, please leave those in the commentary section down below, and I will try to answer them to the best of my knowledge, of course, because I'm also learning as you are. So if you like this, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to this channel so you never miss another video. Again, thank you for watching. See you next time. Stay curious and stay safe. Bye bye!